right, morning. Happy Friday, everyone. We're here with another live workout. Today we're going to be focusing on a glute workout. For all of those who don't know what glutes are, it's your butt, your booty muscles, but there's obviously the big butt muscle, glute maximus, glute medius, and we're going to focus on some other muscles that surround the pelvis, all right? So not just butt alone, all right? We're going to work on several of those muscle groups that surround the pelvis, okay? First, we're going to start with a little bit of a dynamic warm-up, and then we'll do some stretching, and then we're going to get into the workout, all right? So if you wonder why glute workout, it is really important to have strong and, flexible, the muscles around in the glute area, flexible muscles, and, mobility with the joints that surround the pelvis. It's super important, I think, not only for sports performance, but also for life. I should say. So that's why we focus on it a lot here at Camp Strength. We work with golfers. Obviously, you can see that there, but we work with a lot of people because glute strength and the mobility and flexibility of the muscles around the glutes or the pelvis is going to help you later in life, right? It helps with stability, it helps with strength, it helps with power. The TPI, for the golf fitness, basically umbrella, or the golf fitness kind of discipline that we're certified in. They talk about how the glutes are the king of the swing. So not only is that true, it's super important for athletes. It's also important for everyone because the older we get, the more stability we need, the more kind of balance we need, the more strength we need. To kind of make sure we minimize any injuries or slip and falls, things like that. So glute training can be good, is beneficial for everyone. I want to stress that point. All right, so a little dynamic warm-up. Like I say, modify to meet your fitness level. So if some of these things seem too challenging, I'm going to try to offer modifications as we go, but make sure you do things in exercises, movements that you're comfortable with, all right? So I'm going to start with a kind of traditional butt kicker. I'm going for 10 seconds. I got my clock up here, okay? Or kind of like a running in place. And we're going to switch, jumping jacks. Doing everything for about 10 seconds each. Then I'm going to go high knees. And a little trunk twist. Alright? Working my upper back, kind of rotating my T-spine, with my head also. Alright, shake it out. We're going to do that one more time, then we're going to go down, do a couple stretching mobility movements, and focus right on the hip area, lower back, glutes, hamstring, get those warmed up before we do our little strength training workout. Okay? One more time, butt kickers. Jumping jacks. Like I said, this is just a little dynamic warm-up. Get the blood flowing. It's a little cold here in Tampa, Florida today. I know I'm not outside, but probably cold in a lot of parts of the U.S. And a little trunk twist. So warming up, obviously, before we get to our workout is very important. All right? All right, so now when we get down to the ground, I'm going to start with some stretching mobility movements. First one I'm going to start is a figure four. This is glute stretch right here. I'm going to pull it in. Oh boy, pull it over. There we go. Try and bring my shin towards my chest. All right, so I got my leg crossed over here, kind of looks like the number 4. Pull it here into you, all right? Call this glute stretch, figure 4 stretch. Hold it for about 10 seconds. What I'm doing actually right here, and I'm really stressing a lot of the muscles that connect here up into the hip or into the leg. I'm also doing external hip rotation with that figure 4. This is internal hip rotation on this opposite hip over here, right? Hold each one for about 10 seconds each. Probably do about 2 or 3 times. You guys can kind of modify if you'd like, but I always We're going to focus on a lot of glutes, lower backs, hamstring, some quad too in this workout. So you definitely want to have those muscles, ready for the workout. This is one I like to do every day. This is kind of a go-to movement here at the gym, and any at-home clients that we have, we always suggest having this a regular movement, you do every day. I mean, a lot of people for work have to sit all day. So they're sitting in that position, and a lot of the muscles that surround the pelvis, for lack of better words, are super tight. Not only are they, you're limiting your range of motion, but, I gotta do this one more time. But, when you sit a lot, you kind of decondition those muscles. So, and I know a lot of people have to do that for work, so that's another reason why, strengthening your glutes are so important for life in general, not just for sports. Alright, switch sides, hit this one. Yeah, today I woke up this morning, 30s, it's in the 30s here in Tampa, Florida, which is very uncommon. And I'm sure a lot of other people in different parts of the country have a nice, even colder. I mean, the snowfall in Florida that happened this week, a distinct sign that it is cold at a lot of places. That's why a warm-up is definitely necessary on a day like this. Got a couple more of these to do, then I'm going to go into a frog stretch. Then we'll do an up dog, down dog, probably something you guys know of if you've seen these live workouts before. One of my favorite moves, kind of just great movement to stretch out the lower back area, posterior chain, which is what we're going to be working a lot today. Alright, last one right here, and then I'll switch over to the frog. Alright, to the frog. Alright, so we're going to have our legs splayed out like so, kind of looking like a frog, and our toes pointed out to the side. I'm on my elbows, trying to keep a neutral spine, just driving my butt back, feel it inside the adductors. So I'm going to find that position, just hold for about a 10 count. And rock back forward. Okay, take a little tension off, and then I'm going to go right back into it. Surprisingly, and I don't know if surprisingly is the right word, but it seems a lot of my clients specifically, and we do this with essentially all of our clients, right? Because we think, obviously, once again, it's super important to have a lot of flexibility in the muscles that surround the pelvis. But it seems that males tend to need this the most, which kind of makes sense. It seems that, just because males and females' pelvis are constructed slightly differently, that it seems that the males seem to have more lack of mobility, and it's always exceptions. But if I have based on like the clients I've seen over the years, it's definitely seems the males are less flexible, especially in that position where you're the inside the adductors here inside the groin area. All right, so now we're gonna do our up dog, down dog. All right, so up dog. Here, make proud chest, chin to the sky, drive through my palms, and I'll push my butt back to the down dog. Alright, child's pose, sorry. Child's pose up dog is what we're doing right now. Sorry if I said down dog. It's also, down dog's a good one too. I'm going to do that next with a little heel raise. It's one of my faves. We get one more in, and then we'll get to that. We'll get the down dog with some heel raises. Alright. We'll get to that down dog position. Right? I'm working on my ankle mobility here too. So I let my knees bend, drive my chest to the top of my thighs, and then once I get into this position, I start doing my heel raises. I'll do 5 each side. All right. so that's a little stretch and mobility warm up for us. Now we're going to get into the workout, all right? I'm going to do 4 exercises. I'm going to do a little split squat. You know, it's going to be quads also, but you'll feel it a lot in the glutes, especially I'm going to have a little forward pitch. Okay, I'm going to do a bridge. I'm going to do a single leg bridge. I'm going to do a hip raise. And I'm also going to do a little hamstring march. Okay? So, I'm going to demonstrate all 4 of those exercises real quick. We got the split squat, like so, but I'm going to orientate my chest more forward, right? And I'm just going to drive it here, really feel it in that lead glute with my chest over my lead knee. Right? If you have weights, you can use weights if you like. Right? We do 5 on one side, split it, right? Boom, boom. Orientate my chest forward, drive up and down. Really drive through this foot. Right? Feel it right here, drive. Right? Okay? Then I'm going to go into our single leg bridge. Hit the ground, one heel down, right? Drive the hip up. Okay? Really pushing through this heel to feel it in the glute. Okay? That's the single leg bridge. Side leg hip raise. Okay? This one is challenging, but it's really good for building that glute medius, the muscles on the side of the hip, right? Almost in your hip pocket, right? I'm going to have a slight bend in my knees, elbows under my shoulder like I'm setting up for a side plank, driving through this leg, taking that hip off the ground, here, right? You should feel it right in that hip pocket that's closest to the ground, right? You can do 5 of those each side. And then finally is the hamstring march. You can do this off a box or on the ground. I'd actually recommend on a box too. It's a little bit more achievable, especially if this is a new move. But I'm going to drive my heels hard, butts off the ground, a little extension in the back, and march. Okay? So I think flat on the ground, a little bit more challenging. I would say, I don't have it with me, but if you have a little step, or you can, you can put it on the edge of, your couch, or, a chair or something like that. A chair might be a little high, but I would say get your feet a little elevated to kind of elevate your butt, and then march your legs. All right. We're going to do 5 reps for everything. This is a lot of single leg work or single side work, all right? 5 reps for everything, 3 times through. You guys modify it however you'd like, all right? If you want to do 5 reps, take a break, or 10 reps total of an exercise, take a break, do so. I'm going to run through everything, then take a break, about a minute break in between, okay? All right, first is a split squat with a little bit of forward lean to get a little bit more glute, right? I'm very light on that back leg, right? I'm putting all that weight on that lead leg. All right, single leg bridge. All right, side leg hip raise. Over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that hip raise is probably going to be the most challenging for everybody, right? You're really driving through that bottom leg. All right, last one's the hamstring march. Alternate legs, okay? All right, take a little break. So, for modifications, side leg hip raise. That's what I say. I think this one's the toughest, right? So, if you have any issues, you can do some modification would be band, especially if you have it, above the knees for the clamshell. This one right here, or even better, probably this one, hydrants, right? And I usually go below kneecaps, right? For your hydrant. That's a good substitute, and you don't even need a band to do the hydrant. Maybe a tennis ball or any type of little ball you have, squeeze it behind your knee, right? Boom, behind your knee, squeeze, and then lift, right? That could be your substitute. Your hydrant could be a good substitute for that side leg hip raise if you're looking for one, okay? We got 1 round down. We're going to go back to the split squat, okay? A little glute focus split squat. one thing I want to reiterate when you do your split squat is, or I should say, I don't know if I ever said it yet, but you're not in a straight line, right? We got basically almost like we're on train tracks, right? That helps with balance, okay? So you almost fell over there. Balance is another key point. That's a lot of beneficial aspects of unilateral training too. Not only working one side of the body to help with asymmetries you have, whether it be mobility or strength, but you're also kind of working on balance, which is I'm a little too far on that one. There we go. Here, there we go. Okay, silent hip raise. Now, if you want, like I said, well, I would say a suggestion, if you're trying that side leg hip raise, it's a little challenging. I always recommend putting this arm on the hip, elbow to the ceiling, or out in front of you, right? That can kind of ground you. Trying to have this, you might fall over a little bit, might feel a little imbalanced. So I would say go ahead and get that arm either on the hip, or hand on the hip, or arm out in front of you. All right, hamstring march. Alright. Alright. 2 down. I'm going to go grab the step real quick. Oops. To show you what the hamstring march looks like off a box. Okay? Alright. Here it is. We got the step. I'm just going to leave it right here so I can show you once I get back around to the hamstring march. I'm going to put my feet on that, which I would suggest, especially if you haven't done it before, that's how you start. The feet on the ground is a little challenging because you do have to put a little extension in your lower back, which can be problematic for individuals that have, lower back problems. So, once again, this is kind of a general glute workout. If there's any issues, if you have a lower back problem, maybe the glute bridge, double leg glute bridge. Don't do a single leg. Maybe the regular kind of an eccentric squat opposed to the split squat. Something that you got to modify to your abilities, right? All right, we're going to go through it again. Back to the split squat, right? And this is really where you can get it if you want to glute focus on this. Like the regular split squat, great exercise also. A lot of quad, right? But if you want to add a little of that glute focus, just put that forward lean into it, right? You'll still get glute, but, still get some quad. This one. All right. All right. Single leg bridge. Right, so if that single leg bridge maybe a little too tough, double leg bridge, right? Alright, side leg hip raise. Get in front of this box. I know this is kind of up close and personal. I know. Alright, now, hamstring march off the box. Heels are on it, elevate the butt. A little easier on the lower back, for sure, okay? And then march. All right, there you go, guys. A little glute focused workout for you today. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you weren't able to watch the entire thing, you can head to our YouTube page. I'll upload it along with our past live workouts. at Tampa Strength's YouTube page. Also, like I said, hopefully there's some golfers watching this today. If you want more golf-centric content, go to our other page, Golf Training Systems. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next week.